Landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And back in my day, you'd get yelled at for taking the phone in the bathroom. That was neat. But do me a favor and hit that like button or a homeless guy will pee on your shoes. And we just got done doing a live stream. We got done doing a Cardboard Slayer session on the QSP Penguin. Now, let's take a look at what we're holding, because it'll bother you if I don't, and you know I love you. So, first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. We have got the blue denim micarta. Pocket clip is reversible. We have got our thumb studs on here, so let's flick the stud. And we got right around 3 inches of D2 steel, and she do be centrifugal opening, which I love. So, I carried this for a week. I really enjoyed the week with it. Seemed like a good knife, but I can't tell if somebody bought this, used it, and returned it to Amazon or what. It looks like I bought it from the official QSP store, but the edge when we got this thing out was bad. It was like in the 300s, and so that raised some issues. It raised some concerns. I should have just returned this and got it replaced for a new one, but I didn't want to hassle with returning it, so I said, screw it, we'll run it. Now, Houston, we have a problem. We have got a serious problem here. So, we started our session. We had a 342 on the edge sharpness tester. I will show you the sharpness tester in a few minutes here, so you don't have any questions about what it is. But, by the way, I got to mention it. We use time spent cutting over the course of an hour because it's catastrophically unmanageable to keep count of every individual cut. It's a lot. We get very consistent, very repeatable results with the system, and if it's not good enough for you, that's fine. It's good enough for the girls I've gone out with. Now that that's out of the way, we started at a 342, and we cut for an hour. And 342 is not a great number. That's a pretty rough edge. That's, it was already bad starting off. But with D2, normally it'll stabilize around 400 and hang on to that for a couple hours before it lets go. This was letting go almost immediately. All right, we finished our first hour and we pulled a 589, went a bit farther back and got a 618. That is terrible. That is terrible catastrophic edge wear. Normally D2 will take about 4 hours, like clockwork. 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. We've done a lot of D2. D2 will take 4 hours to hit those numbers on a factory edge. And at the 342, we should have gotten about 2 hours and some change out of that edge. So we sharpened it. And I put it on the Work Sharp Precision Adjust Professional at a 17-degree angle like we always do with D2. I hogged a ton of material off. I never got a burr to form. I kept marking the edge and hogging off material till I got way past the point where we were on the apex. We got a 168 in one spot, which was a little odd, but then a 253 and a 303. All right, that is not good numbers. All right, normally we sharpen it like that. We get down into the 140s to the 120s. We get a much better edge out of D2 than that when we sharpen it. So I was like, maybe I did something wrong. So I broke out the Kin Onion belt grinder, and I ran that, made sure I got a burr on the first belt, flipped it over a few times, worked that burr, and then I got the second belt, ran both sides a bunch of times, made sure the burr was there. Third belt, same thing, like I gave it a lot of love. We got about 320 or so on it, like again. So we broke the belt the belt sharpener back out. We broke out the little belt grinder again and sharpened it a third time, still hitting the 300s. So we said, forget it, we're going to run it. And we got like 7 or 8 minutes and it started cutting like crap again. Like no time at all. So we brought out the Precision Adjust Professional again and hogged even more material off. I spent so much time hogging as much material off as I could to try to get past a burned edge or something like that. 238 to 307. It would not sharpen up. All right, and you can see the bevel right here. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. We have got a wide, highly polished bevel. We have got the thing that D2 normally loves as far as my testing goes. And you can kind of see here, like, how much extra bevel we put on there and how much material got removed to get there. If we had a burned edge, we should have gotten past that by now on a decent knife. Like, a burned edge shouldn't have been more than a decent amount of material getting hogged off before it was right again. But no, this thing just would not take an edge. So I don't know if I got a bad heat treatment on this or what, or somebody say, you know, had a messed up knife that they just said, screw it, I'm going to order a new one and send the old one back. I don't know. I got it out of the box. There is a short on the channel a ways back. I got it out of the box, like I got it out of the Amazon box, and the box it came in was open. The knife was flopping around loose. It was missing the sticker, stuff like that. Like I said, I should have just sent it right back to Amazon and asked for a replacement. I'm gonna double check, but I'm 99% sure it was from the official QSP store, so we have more issues there. So I'm gonna have to exchange some emails somewhere. Exchange some emails with QSP or something. I gotta reach out to somebody. At some point, I want to visit this again, and it may boil down to just buying another Penguin and trying this again and seeing whether or not because this has to have just been like a bad piece of steel. This has to have been a bad piece of steel. I don't find any other major issues. Nothing about this screams clone. Like, nothing seems off about it except for that edge. Like, it just would not take an edge at all. And we sharpened up where is it? We sharpened up a Camillus wedge. All right, a little cheap $13 Camillus, and that thing took a way crazier edge. The burr formed. It was pretty much the exact same setup. You know, we got a great edge on the first try. It was cutting cleanly. It was we sharpened that down to like a 171 on some crappier steel, which is good for that kind of steel. But like, again, like ending this 240 to 300, like that is terrible. Terrible. You know, when we sharpen it like this and polish it like this on D2, it's normally in the 140s to the 120s. Like, it handles the sharpening quite well. It does good with that, and we don't have issues. And still, like, cutting with it, even on the brand new edge, going through the paper, doing that cut, it'll start clean here, and then it'll start to show rag and nastiness right through here. Let's get a piece of paper out. We got this one that's partially done. Like, that is not a good cut on a brand new edge. Like, that is just not a good cut. And it is infuriating because I spent a couple of good hours working on this thing and I have nothing to show for it, really. I have nothing to show for it except for a prettier edge bevel than we started with. So let's take a look at the edge quality on the tester. So this is the edge sharpness tester right here. And how this works is it measures the number of grams of pressure it takes to cut through the wire on this test clip. All right, now for a lot of the edges that I have sharpened and put that much work into, the 120s and below is a good solid number. I am always ecstatic when I see that, and that's what I'm shooting for. I'm trying to get one under 100, but we're also dealing with steels that aren't known for taking the craziest edge to begin with. So, you know, let's take a look at where this edge is sitting right now. This has been a hell of a night. You know, I got a 333 right here. That was a very slow press. I'm not popping it to try to generate a fake number. Like, this is so terrible. This is so terrible. You know, the $13 Camillus wedge with 420 stainless, that thing got down to 171. Which is still, like, that's a good number, but it's not the number as low as I'm used to seeing. I've gotten 3CR sharper than that. You know, it is ridiculous how bad this was. I don't want to blame QSP. I don't want to blame the Penguin as a whole. I just got a dud. And I'm not sure why it wound up being a dud outside of a bad piece of steel. It happens to all of us once in a while. But I am disappointed. I am disappointed. I wanted this to do what D2 does. I wanted a good 4 hours of cutting time. I wanted to have a fun time, you know, keeping y'all entertained with the cut testing and watching the edge degrade in real time. That's always enjoyable. But Jesus Christ, this thing did so terrible. So you guys know I love sharing with you what happened during Cardboard Slayer. That's what happened with this one. I've got to email QSP and ask about what's happening here. But all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so, so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We got our live streams. We got regular videos. Plenty of activities. Hit that like button if you haven't. It makes more of a difference than you realize. Comments. I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about what's happening here. And all that being said, Y'all have a nice day.